Hello and welcome to Phone Arena's in-depth video review of the Samsung Mythic, available now for AT&T. This is the latest TouchWiz enabled device from Samsung. We previously saw the Samsung Solstice and even the Eternity a while ago. This device sports some new slick features that are updated, and of course we're going to check it out and see how it stacks up to the others. This handset clearly resembles the previous two TouchWiz devices we've seen in the Solstice and the Eternity. The slate form factor is intact. It's relatively lightweight thanks to the materials that they use. They use this red glossy plastic, which has really a nice design when you look at a specific angle. The chrome outer bezel does nice to accent the black plastic on the front. It's a little bit longer and skinnier than the previous two TouchWiz devices we've seen, and it's only half an inch thick. And with the materials that they use, it makes it really lightweight in the hand. It feels good, feels solid, and the construction is top notch. The first thing that really catches our eye with the Mythic is, of course, its gorgeous 3.3-inch LCD screen, which is a resistive display. It's quite responsive, and of course it has a native resolution of 360 by 640 with support for up to 262,000 colors. And we gotta say that colors jump out at you, and of course it's highly detailed and a lot of good clarity. Even in direct sunlight, we're pretty much able to see it without any problems. Right below that, you have your standard set of hardware buttons, your send and end key, the middle button being the back or clear key. On the left hand side, you have your volume rocker, and on the other you have your camera key, quick menu, and the unlock lock button. On the top, you're greeted to a 3.5mm headset jack, and of course the micro USB port. On the back, you have the 3.2 autofocusing camera with LED flash, speakerphone, and when you remove the back cover, you'll have access to the battery compartment, the SIM card slot, and the microSD card slot. The Mythic gets treated to some new features that's found on some higher-end TouchWiz devices that Samsung has thrown out. First of all, you have your home screen here, which you could actually have now 3 different ones you can move through. You can place different widgets, obviously, through the home screen and place it right wherever you want. For the most part, they run really quick and pretty smooth, not too choppy or laggy. When you get to your main menu, you also get a new layout, a grid-like pattern, and of course, 3 main menus, so you could actually modify or move around the icons depending on your liking. For the most part, there's a lot of fancy transition effects when you're moving throughout the phone through the menus, and for the most part, there wasn't too much lag with the device, and found it to be pretty fast overall. Sending text messages on the Mythic is the same exact experience we got on the previous TouchWiz devices on AT&T. Of course, you could use a variety of different input methods to accomplish that. You could use first, of course, the keypad, which is your standard layout. You could even use a handwriting recognition, where you just write on screen, type up the letter you want. And of course, the best and easiest thing to use is turning it sideways to get the full QWERTY keyboard. It works really well, pretty responsive, and you could speed type without having any issues. If you prefer a more instant way of communicating with friends, you could use the IM application that's on the device. You'll have access to Windows Live Messenger, Yahoo, and even AIM. And if you do accidentally press the end button and get back to the home screen, it'll continue to run in the background. One of the biggest things that really surprised us about the Mythic is, of course, its mobile email application. Before this device, unfortunately, if you had a specific mail client that's not listed on the options here, you weren't able to use it. Now, though, you can just simply set it up just about any email by putting in the email address and password. If it's needed, it'll ask for specific items like mail server addresses to get your email completely set up on the device. Yet another thing that really impresses about the Mythic is its web browsing experience. It's really top-notch when compared to some of the higher-end ones that's out there. At first, you have this general page overview, which took roughly under 30 seconds to load up our page. Scrolling is really smooth, as you can see. At first, you can't really read the text, but if you double-tap, it will zoom in to view the page directly, and it renders the page pretty closely to what you see on a PC, and we're just thoroughly surprised with how well this browser works on the device. The music player in the Mythic is the same exact one we saw on the Samsung Solstice and doesn't really change anything. You'll be able to see the album cover, the artist, and name the song. And of course, if you exit back to the home screen by accident, it'll continue to run the mini player. And the sound quality from the speakerphone was a little bit not as strong as we liked, but at least it didn't crackle. The Mythic is a suitable device to watch videos thanks to its beautiful screen and highly detailed resolution. Of course, we're running a video here. Managed to play it only in landscape mode, no option, but for the most part it runs really smooth, no slowdown and no choppiness to it. One area where the Samsung Mythic really performed poorly was its camera taking capability. First of all, it does support a higher 3.2 megapixel camera that's better than the one that's found in the Eternity and Solstice. But unfortunately, when you do take photos, they lack any fine detail, muddy looking, and of course, colors really bland. The same could be said with the video capture capability. It was pretty pixelated, and of course, was choppy at times. We were thoroughly impressed with the Mythic's calling performance. Other than the fact that there was a slight echo at the highest volume setting, voices were distinct and clear on both ends. Even when we used the speakerphone, we were surprised that it was easily audible and didn't crackle at all. Battery life with the device, we managed to get a solid 4 days of normal use, using it primarily for phone calls, text messaging, and of course web surfing. So we're really impressed by its performance in that area. The other thing is it managed to retain signal strength here in our area. We didn't notice any issues with it losing or dropping phone calls. The Mythic's probably one of the better, well-balanced devices available right now on AT&T. It's great looking screen, great spectacular call quality, and even web browsing experience definitely caters to a lot of different individuals. And in the end, we find that the Mythic's performance is quite usable and passes well above the crowd. So if you want to learn more about the device, you could always check out our in-depth review at phonearena.com.